Hello everyone, I am finally back, and what better way to celebrate this comeback with a Sova lineup video on a new map Fracture. Before we start, make sure you are subscribed and have your notifications on, as I will upload new video each week and you want to stay up to date with this ones. And now, on to the video. Fracture is a map with a very unique design and the way it plays. This video will be more of a guide video rather than just lineups, as I firmly believe that lineups, while they can be nice and fancy and look cool, are not as effective and useful, and most recons and shocks you just shoot by knowing the map design. You also know that we like to keep things basic and simple but effective on this channel, so this will be the case with this video as well. Attacking on Fracture is much more favored than defending, mainly because attackers can start their attack from 4 different sides, while defenders rely on early info, where Sova comes as a perfect agent for gaining early info. With 4 points of entry come 4 ultimate orbs. There are 2 orbs that are favored more towards the attackers and 2 towards the defenders. And if you understand where the spawn barriers are, you can see that this orb and this orb are more favored towards the attackers, and this orb and this orb are more favored towards the defenders. This is important since you as a Sova have the best tools to farm these orbs for yourself or bring a teammate with more valuable ultimate to farm them. With that being said, the 2 ways you play Sova in attack are based on what your team wants to do. If they are going for a slow approach, you will always farm one of those 2 orbs, if not both of them. And if they are playing aggressive and rushing, then you will use execute recon arrows in combination with your drone to secure the bomb site for them. Now let me show you all of that in practice. In a slow attacking approach, once the spawn barrier goes down, you will simply farm this orb. You come here, you use full charge 1 bounce arrow, give you early information if somebody's there. If nobody's there, you grab the orb and you can keep pushing, or you can back off, up to you. Second option is you're gonna take the zipline across on the other side of the map. The spawn barrier is gonna go down here. You're gonna do this early arrow, and this early arrow is going to reveal heaven, and it's gonna reveal if somebody's pushing here close. Nobody gets revealed, you or your teammate, you quickly come here and you capture this orb, while one of you watches heaven in case someone peeks or pushes late. The next way of playing is if your team wants to rush and be aggressive on A or B. If they're rushing A, I like to be on this side of the map, and I like to go for the early information arrow on Satellite. The way that you line up the arrow, you're gonna wedge yourself into this corner. You're gonna look at the bottom part of this metal that lines up with the rock right here, and you're gonna put the second vertical line in your charge bar slightly under it. Then you're just gonna use second charge. The arrow lands perfectly on the corner right here, and it scans anyone who wants to play aggressive here, even if they're trying to play a little bit back here. If that early information arrow doesn't scan anyone, you can simply and quickly rush all the way up to here and use your drone to clear out the close right corner and ensure that your team gets on site safely by clearing pretty much everything on site with your drone. And also, don't forget to grab the orb on your way in. Alternatively, if your early information arrow is getting destroyed every single round while your team is trying to rush A, what I do is I start with the drone to clear out the satellite. I always have a teammate with me that's on the left side while my drone clears the right side and behind. When we establish that all of this is clear and the enemy is backed off, you grab the orb that is always free there, and you do an execute recon arrow for A site. To do the recon, you're gonna wedge yourself into this corner right here. Gonna go in until you get stuck. You're gonna look at this part of the roof right here. There's gonna be a little corner here. You're gonna go down in line with your top crosshair until you're somewhere in the middle like this. Then you're gonna go slightly to the left. Then you're gonna do a second charge. This lands right here. scans pretty much the whole A site, scans all of this, and even scans someone holding a wide angle like this. After your team has successfully taken a site and they're ready to plant, make sure to tell them that they plant right here in the open next to this box, because this is the best open plant. If they can do it, it's open to so many angles and it's really hard for the defenders to defuse. If they have successfully planted the bomb where you told them, you're going to be standing here at the satellite, watching the flank and watching behind, making sure that nobody pushes. After a couple of seconds, if nobody pushes, you're gonna line yourself up for a double shock dart. The way you do these double shock darts, you're gonna go into this corner right here. You're gonna look at the edge of the building right here, but you're gonna look with your first vertical line in your charge bar and you're gonna put it a little bit above it. This is gonna be a second charge. Then after that, you're gonna look at this part right here and you're gonna use your inner charge bar to line it up right in this corner like this, and then you're just gonna tap it. When you do these two together, if your team wants to rush B really fast, after the spawn barrier goes down, make sure that the defenders are not pushing really hard here. And if they're not pushing, you're gonna prepare for the execute arrow on B. The way you do the arrow, you go backs along this wall. You're gonna find this metal edge and this metal edge, and you're gonna align them while your backs is up against the wall. Then you're gonna look at this edge right here, but you're gonna look at it with your top left corner of your charge bar. You align it with that corner, you do a second bar. Lands perfectly on here. The good part about this arrow is that it scans anyone that's might even camp right here. And it also scans if somebody is ratting here or under. Pretty much scans the whole site. And after the arrow, you're just gonna run towards this.
Take flight.
You're gonna use your drone, and you're gonna use your drone to clear out the right side. You're clearing out close right, clearing behind the box, clearing this, clearing behind the generator, and as far as you can reach towards the hold. When your team gains control of the site and they're able to freely plant a bomb, try to make sure that they plant right here, because this is the best open plant and it's open from 4 or 5 different angles. If they have successfully planted on the spot that you told them, you are gonna go back where you came from and you're gonna hold behind. If nobody pushes behind after a couple of seconds, you're gonna prepare for your shock darts. You're gonna go into this corner. You're gonna find these 2 branches like this, and then there's gonna be a dark part of the leaf here. You're just gonna aim in the middle part of the leaf. Second charge, you're gonna do 2 of them like that. And after the second one hits, you're gonna peek with it. In defense, you're pretty much doing the same thing as you have been doing in attack. You're gonna try to farm the 2 orbs that are very and easily accessible to the defenders. From this orb, you simply shoot an arrow as soon as the spawn barrier goes down. If nobody gets scanned, grab the orb. You can keep pushing to flank them, because you have info that nobody's there, or you can go back. Really up to you. The second orb that is accessible to defense is at the satellite. There's gonna be a spawn barrier here that you're just gonna wedge yourself into the corner. You're just gonna aim full charge 1 bounce into the corner right there of this metal part.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow is gonna land right here really fast. The attacker's spawn barrier is right here, so the arrow is gonna hit if they try to push here slowly or fast. If they get scanned, you can try to wallbang them. If they don't get scanned, you have a free orb and a free flank if you choose to do so. In rounds where I have my ultimate and I don't need to farm the orbs, and none of my teammates wants to farm the orbs for their ultimate, I like to sit here in heaven or rope or whatever you want to call it, and I like to line myself up before the round with this and this, with the backs against the wall. You have a shock dart or a recon. I like to use a shock dart here. You just aim right here where these 2 parts are touching. You do double bounce, you do full charge, and you use the shock dart as soon as you hear either steps here or they try to grab the orb. It's gonna land exactly here and it's gonna do 90 damage to it. Alternatively, like I said, you can use a recon arrow. If your teammate is trying to push here, the recon doesn't reveal anyone, he can grab the free orb and you can freely rotate because you have a really fast rotation towards B. This pretty much covers how you would play Sova effectively on Fracture. I have had the opportunity to play over 30 games of Fracture during the Influencer event, and I have spent 5 hours in custom game trying to find cool and fancy lineups. But I realized that there is no need for these lineups. Most of them won't be as useful and effective, and they are only cool. You need to understand what separates good Sova players from bad, and that's not the amount of lineups you have. It's how well you adapt and improvise your recons and shocks to different situations you find yourself in. Knowing the geometry and design of a map to quickly shoot a recon to help your teammate goes much further than lining yourself up for 20 seconds for a double shock that eventually just misses. All in all, if you're a Sova player that's all about cool lineups, then this video is not for you. And if you're a Sova player that wants to win and learn new things on Fracture, be useful and maximize your effectiveness, then this video is perfect for you, as I kept everything simple and basic for everyone to understand and learn quickly. And that's going to be it for today. I have plenty of other videos coming up in the next weeks, as I haven't done Icebox and Breeze lineups videos, so these two are coming up next, and some new educational Sova content is on the way as well. So if you're interested, make sure you are subscribed and you hit that like button, as it helps me massively. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.